is. Thanks for being here this morning. Tuesday, October the 18th, we have a full house here in Greenville and in Spartanburg. Welcome, Spartanburg. We have about 40 people joining us virtually right now. If you're here because of the launch of Moxie, which officially went live yesterday, raise your hands. If you're here for the biscuits, raise your hands. The biscuits look fantastic. David Seaver is a little anxious right now. He had an eye appointment this morning and he did not get his proper seat. But like all of us in the real estate industry, we're evolving, right? Got a little contest going on, adapt and overcome. Y'all, it's a really exciting time. Last 2 weeks, we've been talking about Moxie and what it is and how we can use it. And now we're moving from sort of the planning phase into the execution phase. So David and the team have been working very hard. Monday, the sites went live, and as David walks you through everything today, you're going to be able to leave today's meeting and go in and sort of kick the tires and see what the tools have to offer. It's a really exciting time. I also want to remind you of this really unique and interesting time. We have to implement a new tool set, right? We're in the fourth quarter of an evolving market, a changing year. We're going into business planning next month. We're all feeling sort of the shift and slowdown, and it's the perfect time for us to really work on our business, dive into this new tool, understand what it has to offer. And that window is going to be a short window. Before you know it, the holidays are going to be here, and 2023 is going to be off and running. So it really is the perfect time to focus. Remember what we say, play free. But we're focused, relaxed, and engaged, and we're going to enjoy this new process. We've had great feedback on all the energy that David brings to sales meetings or Caine Lives, and he may be doing it for the rest of the year. Who knows? But David, I'm going to turn it over to you. What are we doing after Moxie? Actually, I will remind you what we're doing after Moxie. This is the last Caine Live of October. We have a great group, 40 folks going to Phoenix and Gin Blue next week. And then when we turn around and start Caine Lives in November, Amanda and I had a planning session with Matt Farabee from Farabee Lane yesterday, and also Milt. So we have a 3-part business planning session that's going to be absolutely fantastic, starting the first week of November. So thanks for being here this morning. If you walked in and you're standing, there's still plenty of seats right up here. Actually, there's 3 seats right here, right next to Brad, which is the perfect seat. So y'all come on up. And David, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Perfect. Thank you, Stephen. All right, guys, it is Moxie launch week. We made it. Good work, everyone. 10/17 has come and it has passed, and the world keeps turning. Nothing has broken. And I'm excited to give you guys kind of just a crash course in getting started, where to go, how to turn these tools on, how to get in there and start getting a feel for it. If you get to the end of Caine Live today and you say, David, that was a lot of information. I need more help. Don't worry. We got Engage training in Greenville today, right after Caine Live, 11 to 12:30. I'll be out in Spartanburg on Thursday training Engage on 10 to 11:30. And then next week's we'll be doing website. And if you say, I'm going to Gen Blue, don't worry. We've got training the first 2 weeks of November doing Engage and websites again. And we will keep doing trainings after that because we're here to support you and make sure you feel comfortable with these new tools. So, a little review. We have the 4 Moxie products. And it may sound like I'm repeating things, but be on the lookout because you never know when I'm going to hit you guys with a pop quiz or come up with something and need to make sure you know all these terms. So we've got Moxie Present, which is the CMA tool. You can do that. It's interactive. It is pulling live data. You have Moxie Engage, which is the new CRM, client management tool. You have Moxie Impress, which is the tool we've been using for graphics and automated materials for your listing. And then we have Moxie Websites, which, if you're tracking, work with websites. So that'll be where you get your new agent websites. So let's look at the rollout timeline. We are at the blue star, just on the other side of the 10th or the 17th, 10/17. We are just launched. Pre-launch is done. Zap is still running. The next big date is the 14th. That is when we are going to be able to pull automatically your contacts from Zap into your new Engage system. So if you want to start using Engage today, I'm going to go through how you can import your contacts and get started. If you want to play around with Engage, get a feel for the tools, and then wait till you can port your Zapped contacts over, that will happen on the 14th. The next date after the 14th that's important is we are shooting for all agent websites to be live by the 30th of November. Now you say, David, we have until the 13th of January to get this done. But let's be real. Once Thanksgiving happens, the year is done. Because Thanksgiving comes, you come back, you have 1 or 2 weeks to get some stuff knocked out before the holiday season kicks up. You're not really going to get anything big done that week between Christmas and New Year's. And no one really knows what happens to the first 5 or 6 days of a new year. It's all kind of a blur. We're full of cheese and waking up from a stupor. So don't count on those days. So really, the goal is the 30th of November to have your agent websites live. And you're saying, David, how do I do this? Where do I go? Don't worry. We got this. We're going to go through it. So first things first, MoxiWorks. Where do we find the new tools? So if you've been here for a while, you probably know that we have mycbdesk.com. Your login portal is going to look something like this. This is our intranet, not internet, intranet spot where you can kind of go in and use internal tools for Coldwell Banker. Now, you're going to notice something up there. When you go to log in, if you don't log in frequently, you notice it is an @coldwellbanker.com login. If you've forgotten what this is, your email is going to be your first name dot your last name @coldwellbanker.com. If you have a common name, and I'm not insulting your name, but if your name is more common in the English language, you may have a number at the end. James is JamesPro1 @Coldwell Banker. If you can't remember, there's another James Pro out there that works for Coldwell Banker somewhere in the world. Fun factoids you learn at Caine Live. Well, we have the best one, obviously. If you can't remember your password, just hit the forget password. It'll forward it through to your CB Caine email, and you'll log in, and it'll look like something like this. It'll have all your tiles of your available tools. Now, fun little fact, you can grab these tiles like iPhone apps and move them around. And I highly recommend you grab MoxiWorks and you drag it up to the top left corner, because you may have to scroll and find it when you go in there the first time. But put it up there in the top left corner. It's always there where you need it. And when you click MoxiWorks, it's going to take you through to a portal like this, and it'll take a second, and then a blue bar will appear along the top, and you will see there's 2 new buttons up there, Engage and Websites. So what happens when we click on Engage? First thing that's going to happen, you're going to click on Engage, you're going to get a button, a little screen like this is going to pop up, and it's going to say, I know the text is small on this one, use my brokerage email to set up your Moxie Engage. It's already going to be selected, and all your CB Caine emails will be there. Don't change anything there. Don't put in a different email. Just hit confirm. And then the very next thing it's going to say before it lets you into the tool, it's going to say, what is your GCI goal for the year? If you're not sure, just put a number. You can always go back and change it, but it won't let you into the system until you've put in your GCI goal. Also, it's not really going to matter for this last month of the year because you're going to reset it when we go into a new year anyways. So don't stress about this number. Just put something. Hit set goal. And then it's going to load you into something like this. We kind of looked at this before, but here's a little video of what it looks like. You've got your stay in the flow, you've got your activity feed, you have your to-do list that's populating from your contacts and from your work. You have your calendar that's automatically syncing with your CB Caine calendar. You have your sales flow, your goals, and any of your listings. And then you've got your little navigation bar on the side. So that you just click around, pops you up and around the website. This is going to be where you navigate Engage. This is going to navigate you on that home page. So if you want to jump around between tabs, look at things, and you don't want to scroll, just click on the side. If you want to navigate to other elements within Engage, that top bar up there underneath the blue, it's going to have your dashboard, your people, your calendar, your campaigns, your goals. That's where you get to the elements within Engage. Okay. So I logged in. I set up James Pro1, as one of my contacts in here. And I said, what would it look like if I just wanted to hop in? I started with my stay in the flow, touch my sphere. What does it look like? So I click on it. I go to say, hey, I want to just send an email to you. This part's really fun because I mistype some words and then correct my typos as we go. I just pull up a little email, start typing some things out to James and say, hey, this was someone that was in my stay in the flow. How do I touch base with them and track my contact? Type it out. You can see that your little email signature is auto-generating. You can pull in photos or links or anything else you need in there. And then when you're ready, you can just send it directly with Engage. And then I say, okay, where does it track it? So I click into James's profile, pulls up this whole section where it's got his info, his email. I go into the activity section and I can see the last time that I've reached out to him, when I've contacted him through here, which can help me kind of know, oh, it's been a couple months since I've touched this contact. Say I don't want to wait to send a manual email. I say, I want to set up some neighborhood news. I jump in there, I click on that, which neighborhood news is just kind of like a by zip code touch point that shows them listings in the area. I put in 29611 because I know James is kind of on that side of the world. And then it just pulls in some listings. It pulls in some information about that market, and it's default set up that it'll go out once every month or so. And it recorded some conversation while we were recording this in the office, which I did not hear that audio, and I thought someone was joining us online. But that's definitely something that happened in the marketing office. So come hang out with us. We're fun. That makes me really scared for the other videos I recorded, and I didn't hear the audio when I prepped this. So who knows? We might hear some more marketing office fun. All right. So that was just looking at his account, seeing what activity we had, seeing what kind of activity we could get, looking at when we emailed him. And then you can automatically from there set him up for neighborhood news. You can add him to a campaign. You can build out campaigns for different types of clients. All of that can be done just by jumping into their account. I could also just go back up to the dashboard, look around, see who else I need to contact, and then see where they are in the sales flow as I start to do activity like this. So I'd recommend when you go in, you're going to have a few contacts that automatically port in because it's going to sync with your contact library in your Outlook automatically. So look through who it automatically ports in, because I had a few that were just random people that I had emailed as external vendors. They weren't 100% people I would need to reach out to. Check that before you import people, because if it pulls in any contacts you don't want, it's really easy to delete them up front. All right. So say you want to look at your contacts, see who's gotten imported, or say you're like, hey, I'm ready to start learning this tool. I don't want to wait until the 14th. How do I get going? So if you export your contacts from Zap, or you have a database somewhere that you want to import, it's pretty simple from the dashboard. You'll go up to the top, you'll click on the people drop down. Then over as the bar drops down, there will be the My People. You click on that. And then within there, you can add people. Single imports, you can just add a contact as you meet someone, or you can do a larger CSV import. And the nice thing is, if you click import contacts, you want to import a bulk of contacts, it will pull this up. And right there, there's a sample or example CSV. If you click on that, download it, and then make sure your contacts are formatted within that database, it will upload correctly to Moxie. If you don't want to deal with this, totally fine. Wait until the 14th of November and port people over. If you want to start using it now, or you want to try it out with a smaller database while you can control 5 or 10 people, this is a great way to do it. Once you've imported people, you are free to start going around and setting up campaigns. You're free to start contacting them any which way you want to try it out. If at any point you say, hey, I want to try this with someone who's not a contact, you guys have my email address. Go ahead and add me to your database. Bombard me with emails. I'll unsubscribe, but you can always try it out. And that's an easy way. You know people. I'm sure staff members won't hate you too much if you need to test it, or just use your personal email. I did a lot of this demo work with my offline personal email that's not attached to work, just so I could get a see and a feel for how it works. So play around with it a little bit, because everyone's going to use it slightly differently. All right. So that is your crash course in getting started with Engage. Did we have any questions come in online before I dive into looking at websites? Okay. Oh, did you have a question real quick? That's totally fine.
I just tried to move my Moxie app and it's completely gone.
Oh, well, that's okay, because you can go up to the top where you can say for search apps, there's a little button for that, and you can search for MoxiWorks again and make sure it comes back. And if it's not, I'll sit down with you and he'll help you find it. Don't worry. Yes.
End up with duplicates like we did in Zap.
It shouldn't have duplicates. Are you saying if you do the import from Zap and an upload of a contact spreadsheet? You don't have to import from Zap. So if you start using this now on the 14th when you have the import available, you can just say, no, I don't want to, and it won't duplicate anything. All right. So we're going to start looking at Moxie websites. First thing that happens when you go into the Moxie website tool within that Moxie Engage app is it's going to pop up and say, hey, this is a new website. Step 1, do you want it to be an agent website? Yes. Unless you are on a team, which the majority of you are not, you're going to leave it as agent website. If you're on a team, you can click that drop down and do agent team site. Those are the only 2 options available to you. And then down here at the bottom, it's going to say, put in your website name. We strongly, strongly, strongly encourage, actually we kind of require, but I cannot be there to stop you if you go rogue, but I will reprimand you. Do first name, last name. So just David Shadell, Kim Johnson. It's going to be okay, just whatever it is. And if for whatever reason you have a more common name, no judgment, you can always do first name, last name, realtor, or first name, last name, upstate. And we can go from there. And once you've done that, it's going to load you through to a website that looks something like this. So this was just kind of the stock website when I fired it up. Had my bio, my headshot. It pulled in some featured properties automatically. It's got a sample mortgage calculator at the bottom that's helpful, pulls in the updated rates. And then when you get to the very end, there's the neighborhood news. And so honestly, this was not as, this was actually a lot better than I was expecting for a sample website. I was happy with how it pulled my headshot in and my bio. I changed the cover photo to make sure that it was Greenville based, and we'll walk through how to do that. When you guys go in there though, the first time you log in, it's going to take you to this page and it says, welcome to the agent website admin tool. And you say, whoa, 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 this looks technical. Yes, we have.
It's not on our bar.
Okay, well, I will look at that afterwards, but it should be popping up on the very top in that blue bar. And if it's not, let me know and we will track it down. Okay. Yeah, it should say websites at the top. Yeah. Okay, I'll look into that if it's not showing up for you guys. All right, so when you log in, it will initially take you to this web page, which is the back end of the agent websites. If you want to see what your website looks like before you go through and make any changes, you'll click on this view site up there in the top, or visit site. And when you click on that, it will take you through and you can kind of see what the front end of your website looks like. You'll know you're in editor mode when that black bar across the top appears, and that black bar says admin home, add page, appearance, things like that. That's how you know you're in the editor mode, not viewing it from the public view. So when you come back to the back end, you can customize some of the elements pretty easily. It looks a little more complicated, but that's because it's giving you more power, and there's actually a lot of step-by-step guides that are going to walk you through every piece of the process. So say I wanted to swap out the header image on my main page. I could go over here to personalize homepage. It says go there. I click on it. And when I do that, there is a long list of all the elements available on the page. It shows me my headshot. It's got my title, my contact info. As I scroll down, it's got my bio on the bottom. And then near the end, there's some other elements where I can put things in, like I can change if I don't want the featured properties to pull in from the whole company. If I want it to be my listings or my sold listings, I can just click that right there. If I want to go a little further, there's a spot for me just to add a video at the end, some more text down there. And that very last thing, it says, do you want that mortgage calculator to show up? Yes or no? Just click yes or no. And then you hit publish and all those changes automatically go through. So this is going to be a pretty easy place to go and click yes or no on a lot of different elements and start tweaking that home page. But say I did want to swap out the cover photo. I go to Agent Resources. There's a section on there that's got Moxie website cover photos. And then I come back over here. I download the one I want. And I say, hey, I want to upload a new cover photo. Click on it. Every time you upload a photo on here, it's going to give you a little warning, which you can kind of just click right by. But it says, hey, is this photo something you have permission to use? Just make sure you're not stealing photos. We don't want anyone to get in trouble for that. That would be a silly way to get a fine. But just download a photo. If it's from our resources, you have permission to use it. If it's through your Canva package, you have permission to use it. If it's graphics we give you, you got permission to use it. If you pull it from someone else's Zillow page, you don't have permission to use it. Just be careful with stuff like that. But you say, yeah, I have permission to use it. You drag and drop and upload it, or you click it and you say upload file and you find it on your computer. Once you found it and upload it, you're going to have this button where it says select for custom. And that basically means, yep, I like this photo. You click select for custom. and then you scroll to the very bottom of the page and you hit publish again, and it will automatically push it out to your website. So that's how all the photo swapping is going to go. That's how a lot of editing elements are going to go. You're just going to go in, find the page you want, and then within the page, you'll click, all right, I want to swap this photo. I want to change this thing. Then you save it and you publish it. And we will go through that extensively in our Moxie website training. It's all good. We will get you guys up to speed. We just wanted to give you the crash course to make sure you understand what you're seeing. When you're back on the home page, if you looked at that page of mine and you said, I didn't love, let's go back. Say you're like, oh, I didn't love that he had the buying and selling guide section already populated. You want to remove that. That's totally fine. Over here, you can go to the site pages, and this is going to be everything that's on your website. And if you start looking at this and you say, oh, I'm not ready to have my testimonial page showing, or oh, I'm not ready for my personal bio page to show, but I want to launch my website, you just go through here and you can mark things as show or hide. You just click that, scroll to the bottom and publish it, and then that will keep pages from showing and hiding. You don't have to delete them. You don't have to like do anything crazy. Just hide them, and that'll take them out of the bar. That'll make them inaccessible for users, and you'll be good to go. All right. So say that you've gone through this, you've tweaked your homepage some, you kind of like how it looks, you've hidden the elements you don't want to use, and you're starting to get ready to launch. What is that process going to look like? All right. So at the very bottom of that main homepage, there's going to be a little thing that says apply for SSL. That just means you go there, you click apply for SSL. There's going to be a button that says apply for one. You click that, and you have to wait 24 hours. And that is basically your digital certificate that says my website is not spam. It doesn't cost you anything. It's not going to be anything expensive. Does nothing there. You just click it, apply it, come back in a day, and then when you're ready, you'll go down to this part. You say, I'm ready for my homepage to be visible. And it's going to take you to a button, and you just say, okay, yes, prioritize it for search. And then you save it one more time, and your homepage will start showing up in the Google search results. Up until then, the only way that you can find it is if you share that URL directly with someone. So for these next month or so when we're working on it, no one is going to accidentally stumble across your half-finished website. So feel free to get in there, mess around with it, customize it, demo it with your family, make sure it works, play with all the links, try it on different devices, all that jazz. And then when you're ready, apply for that SSL, and then click down here and publish. And don't worry, we will have touch points where we go through the training. We will be sending out emails. We'll be reminding you guys that this is coming. And we are shooting for that November 30th goal of getting you guys all live. Our brokerage website will be firing up later this week, and we will let you guys know when our new Moxie version of the brokerage website is ready for you guys to start using as well. And we will send out communication about that. Okay, so once you've done that, and you're ready for your like bit.ly links to switch over, you're ready for us to start directing your email signature over, go over to Agent Resources, and on the right, there's going to be a box with a Moxie Agent website launch form. You click on that, it's going to take you through to a jot form with your name, your email. I'm going to need you guys to copy the full URL from your browser. If you don't know how to do that, don't worry, we'll walk you through it. And paste it in there. If you have a vanity URL, which is basically any URL that redirects to a different website. So I know some people have like a davidshadellrealtor.com that they bought through GoDaddy, and they just direct it to their current website. If you have something like that, I ask you to put the credentials in here for that GoDaddy or wherever you bought that website, and I can go through and redirect it to the new website. And once you submit this form, I'll go through and I'll update your email signature, I'll change your bit.ly link, and I'll move everything over so that anyone finds your business card, anyone clicks on that view website in the email, it'll go through to your new site. But I won't do that until you submit this form or I follow up with you later.
It's what we've done and make sure it looks.
Yeah, we will make sure you guys are ready to launch. We're not going to send you guys out there and be like, oh, it's live. And we're gonna keep track of who's where in the process. I have big spreadsheets with all your names in them that I'll be checking off when you guys move through the process, and I'll be making sure that everyone is comfortable before we push it all the way out. All right. So once we go through, we submit the form, we are ready to launch. So obviously, that was very high level about what the back end is going to look like. and very high level about how you just kind of like click and play and drag and drop within the system. I know some of you had questions about it showing up. I'll investigate that and look at it afterwards, make sure it's showing for everyone. Did any questions come in online, James?
One from Spartanburg about Engage. They wanted to know, can someone see if, or can you see if someone has opened an email and viewed the email that you sent them from Moxie?
So you'll have your regular email metric. So as it's going through, if you're sending an email just to one person as an e-blast, you'll be able to see if that person opens it. If you're sending it like a regular email, like you go through like I did with the James contact and just sent an email out, then you won't be able to see if they've opened it because that's just personal communication. But you'll be able to see your email rates if you use the e-blast tool or the campaign tool where it says, 50% of the list that got this opened it and 12% clicked through. So just like a regular email, when you do one-to-one communication, you're not sure if they've opened it. But that was a good question. Do we have any other website questions before I move on? Yes, Susie.
We know if your name is a common name. Like
it will tell you. Yes. It will tell you, and it'll say, no, that's great. Susie White is a good name, but there might be another Susie White at a Coldwell Banker somewhere. It will say, hey, this website name is taken. Choose another one. And if you're really struggling, you can always do like middle initial. You can do realtor. There's a lot of things we can do. Email us if you're stuck on a dead end.
You have Susie White 1.
The supreme Susie White. All right. You got this. So let's look over the upcoming training dates again. We have Engage today in Greenville from 11 to 12:30. We have Spartanburg training for Engage on Thursday, 10 to 11:30. Greenville next week, next Tuesday, the 25th, we have website training here from 11 to 12:30. We have Spartanburg training next Thursday, 10 to 11:30. And then we have the same two trainings again, the 1st and 3rd in November for Engage, and the 8th and 10th for websites. Okay. I know we're giving you guys a crash course. Most of the tools should be live for everyone within MoxiWorks, so you can find them in desk.
What do we need to show up with the training?
Oh, I would love for you guys to show up with your computer because that will make it so much easier. Thank you, Stephen. Bring your devices because it will be a lot of handwriting if you're trying to track where I go during all of this because you guys will get all cramped up and that will be no good.
Maybe have your password.
Oh,
Yes.
if you don't know your password, do reset it before you come because we can do a little password management during the class, but we're going to have a lot to cover. So bring your laptops, reset your passwords, know how to get in there, and go find your MoxiWorks app. Now, you guys may have been thinking that I was joking about a Moxie quiz, but I will never pass up the chance to do a Kahoot when I'm leading Caine Live. We have one quick question. Yes? Yes, if you have an iPad or a laptop, if you use a tablet as your main device, bring that in just as well. That's totally fine. It should function just the same way. And you know that when we do quizzes, we love to have prizes. So whoever gets first place in this quiz is going to get a $25 Amazon gift card. And second and third place are both getting $10 Amazon gift cards. So just a little something to treat yourself for listening to me for 3 weeks. So James is pulling this up. If you're online or in Spartanburg, just scan the QR code. I'm making sure none of the brokers are doing it this time because they've heard a lot of these answers. Oh, okay. This is really going to test how much you've paid attention to me for the last month. Because after this, apparently I am doing Caine Live more. So who knows? Oh man, well you have Milt next month, so I at least get a little breather. Okay. And I highly recommend you use your real name for this because if someone with a silly name wins, I might not know who they are. And what? Like anonymous, yeah. Yes.
Bobby.
It's dying. Is this one working? No. Laura's the mastermind behind that one. She knows what she's doing over there. We got so much going on. Oh, wow. Okay, we've got about 80 people in. I think we're ready to join. James, do you want to turn on the background music on the left? Just so we can get a little Kahoot. Yeah. All right. If you want to hit start, I think we're good to go. Okay. Here it is. When is MoxiWorks launching? I really hope you guys all get this one. It is also calculated on speed. Amanda has a good point. Yours not open?
It was open.
Oh no. Okay. Oh no. Guys, it's already live. All right, let's hit next. Let's see what we've got in the leaderboard. MJ. Who's MJ? Michael Jordan. Well, who's our MJ? Oh, Mary Jane Freeman? I don't know. Someone online, I guess. All right.
Is it possible for me to get back in?
I think you missed the chance, Linda. Oh, no. All right, let's hit next. I'm sorry, Linda. When will we be able to automatically port my contacts over from Zap? You know one of those dates is wrong because you probably just clicked it for the last one. So think strategically. Process of elimination, we got this. Okay, more of you guys got it. We're tracking. The 17th was launch date, so it shouldn't be the port date. All right, we got this. All right, let's go through to the next one. We've had some change. Oh, Kendall coming through strong. DBD and MJ still holding up there. I don't know. All right, let's go to the next one. When will Zap become read-only? This was on that numbers chart at the beginning. This is when Zap is sunset officially. You guys can't use it anymore. Okay, good. It's January 13th. Most of you guys know this, and I'm proud of you. Now remember, just because it's January 13th, don't count on doing any work on your stuff during the holidays. It probably won't happen. All right, let's click through to the next one, James. What we got? Oh, Kendall holding strong, DBD. Melissa moving into third place, fighting for the Amazon gift card. All right, let's go on to question number 4. Moxie Present is a tool for what? April's trained you on this so many times. She's stressing. This is Moxie Present. Okay, most of you guys are tracking. Good. This is the CMA tool. Just want to make sure we know which tools are which before we start talking about them more. And then we'll hit next again. Let's see who's coming up in the leaderboard. Oh, DBD, you're moving down. Melissa's coming for that throne. Okay, question number 5. Moxie Engage is a tool for, let's use that process of elimination, guys. We got this. Okay, this is your contact CRM. This is for managing your contacts. Engage is for contacts. Present is for CMAs. All right, let's go through. There's 2 options that haven't been chosen, so we should be tracking. Kendall, still holding strong. Melissa, DBD. Wow, we need someone to upset the throne. Okay, question number 6. Moxie Impress is a tool for... April's getting real worried. She's really nervous, guys. She's sweating over there. She's like, I would do so good at this quiz. Who's still thinking? Okay. Impress is for the generated graphics, the auto listing, stuff like that. All right, now this next question, question number 7. Well, let's see. Did anyone change place? Tracy 3. Who's Tracy 3? Oh. I'm reading the TV in the back. I'm blind, guys. This is bad. Oh, David Seaver's imposter. All right. We're coming in. Let's look at number 7. I really want 100% on this one, guys. Moxie Websites is a tool for 100%. We can do this. Someone's going to get it wrong, and I'm going to roast them. Oh, who's still thinking, guys? Guys! Oh, no! That's it. No business planning. We're running through all 3 trainings again. All right, and we have one final question. Did we change the leaderboard? No? Kendall? Still holding up there. Last question. When do we want all new agent websites to go live? What was the date that I kept pushing for all your agent websites to be live? This might be an upset question. It's the 30th, the end of November. Okay, most of you guys are tracking. I love it. All right, it's time for the final results. DBD. Melissa? Did Kendall fall? Did she win? Oh, Kendall. Cheers for Kendall. All right, guys. See me, and I'll send you guys those gift cards. All right. So, I feel like we know what dates are happening. Zap Portover is the 14th. We're shooting for all agent websites to be live on the 30th. Great. And come to trainings for more questions because we're going to have a lot more, and that's going to be okay. The nice thing about this rollout is Zap is not automatically turning off today. That means that none of your business prospects, no one you're working with is going to be out in the cold if you don't have Moxie set up tomorrow. We've got buffer time to learn the tool, to start working through things, and to get comfortable with them. But that does not mean wait until December because the holidays always get dicey. All right, guys, I've really loved teaching you for these last 3 weeks, but I'm going to give it over to Amanda now. And the clicker.
That's a tough act to follow. I'm not going to lie. I smiled for the last 5 minutes straight. My face hurts. So thank you, David. Great job. Who knew websites and tool training could be so much fun? I'm going to try to make announcements fun, but I promise you there is no quiz at the end. So that's good news. As you know, we are midstream in our contest here. We have 1 week left in round 1, which is the team activity. Even though it's all individual points, you have 1 week left. And again, there's 3 parts to the contest. As you know, this is a habit building contest. So no quiz, but the habits are for you to start getting in place for next year. So everything you're doing right now, just a general rule in real estate, what you're doing right now is for your business in 90 days. And guess what's in 90 days? No quiz. But 2023. So y'all are setting the habits and behaviors and outreaches to really have a great 2023. So just a reminder, round 1 is through October 24th. So we have 1 week left. You're going to submit that first habit tracker to BIC at CB Caine with the subject line Evolve. And we need it by midnight on October 24th. Laura's going to stay up till midnight and watch for them to come in. And then we will start round 2, which is October 25th. And that runs through November 14th. Again, a lot of these habits are going to be the same as we're doing right now. It's just more individual based. And then we will have round 3 with the final and grand prizes. If you remember, there's up to $8,000 worth of prizes. So pretty amazing stuff. And your building habits for 2023. Just a reminder, we have a new luxury sign process. Luxury threshold is $500,000 and above. There is a form in Dotloop that you need to submit, and we've revised the form. Make sure you fill out expected listing date. That's how we know on our end when we're shooting to get the sign in. So it's pretty important that that's filled out. Also, we know that things change, right? So an experienced manager will call to confirm the expected listing date. Please make sure you respond if you don't pick up that call when it comes through. The communication with this process is critically important, but we're excited because it's shifted from being an 8 to 10 day process to can be as quick as 48 hours, which is amazing. So what's that? 424.
So it was great.
Good. So we are excited about it. Again, it's just going to take some communication, but we're excited to improve the process. And then just a reminder in September, see, I got all the fun stuff. Well, your stuff wasn't fun either, but you made it fun. 4 forms have come out of the form library. So they are no longer in Dotloop. One is the rejection of offer / solicitation of new offer. This is not LLR's offer of rejection. You're still required to send that form when your seller does not counter or accept. This was a form from SCR that basically the seller would send to the buyer to basically say, hey, send me a counter offer. It was a super confusing form, which is why the forms committee said, let's get rid of it. So that is officially gone. However, some of you are a little bit sneaky and have a secret stash of forms that we found out about. So if you have this in your personal forms in Dotloop, that's your secret stash of forms, please delete it. It is no longer allowed per SCR. So make sure that form disappears. Same with the counteroffer form and the counteroffer to agreement. Why those forms are gone? It's because they were super confusing too. So what was happening statewide is people were using those to counteroffer and thinking it was an addendum to the contract. And then the contracts were not fully executed. So you should always counter in writing, but just counter on an actual contract. That's the best thing for your client, because when you present that counter, the other party can automatically sign and you're done. And then lastly, land, there was a seller's disclosure, which is legally not required. So that form has disappeared as well. So if you would, please go into your first personal forms folder in Dotloop. And if any of these still exist, please delete them. Questions? All right. And then we have our lovely Caine ambassadors. The last Caine ambassadors meeting for 2022 is on the second Thursday of the month. Any feedback that you have or suggestions that you would like discussed in that meeting, please reach out to one of these individuals before November 2nd, and we can add it to our agenda. And then congratulations to our most recent AMP group. They graduated or completed, graduated is probably not the right word, on Friday, and they completed 321 contacts. They got 14 appointments, 3 pending sales, and 4 listings from their activities. A lot of the things that they did are on your habit tracker, but congratulations to these agents. It's a lot of work. It's a big commitment. The results come from it, as you can see. And so congratulations to each of these individuals. And mark your calendars if you were not able to do AMP, but want to have results like this. Our next class will be January 23rd of 2023. And then this is Spartanburg specific. This is for United Way of the Piedmont. There is an overflow fall food drive. You can bring that to the Spartanburg office. We have in the past had Greenville agents contribute, and you're welcome to do it. Obviously, this is with the recession and not the recession, inflation. With inflation as it is, it's going to be a hard time for a lot of families during the holidays. And so where we can help out, we certainly want to. And then we have a marketing update. It's friendly.
Awesome. I think this is my only slide, but I am Kiara, the marketing manager. I haven't met all of you, but I am going to at some point. Would love to sit down with you to talk about everything we have to offer. But how many of you have emailed staff at cbcaine.com before? Excellent. So in marketing, we are working on our workflow. So we are trying to improve our processes. And with that, just like how you email staff, when you email marketing@cbcaine.com, you will now get an automated response. But know that we are still on the other end of that, and we are still here to respond as quickly as possible. This is just our way to make sure that nothing is getting missed, nothing's falling through the cracks, and we're providing the best service possible. So that's really my only update, really brief. So. And I don't know who's next.
All right. And then we have Brad. Would you like to come up to the center?
I won't need any of that.
Oh, I think you do.
No. I do? You got slides?
You just need the mic.
I don't need a, I don't need a microphone.
You do. You do.
Oh, no, people online. Okay. Well, you talk about following somebody. I mean, go from David and all his antics to cancer. But I'm going to make it fun because there's some great news coming out of this run that we've been doing for so long. And I wanted, how many people, raise your hand if you ever met my brother Caine? Okay, see, maybe 10% or less. So I thought it was time for a little update. I don't know. I'm trying not to do more than 10 minutes. They've cut me real tight here. But I just started writing this yesterday and I finished it this morning at 5:30. So I'm going to refer to my notes so I can stay on track. But the Run for Life was started. My brother contracted stage 4 lung cancer as a never smoker, not a non-smoker, but a never smoker. In 2007, he passed away in August, and his goal was to have had a 5K run to educate people as to how many cases of cancer are coming online, specifically with lung, that are never smokers, because that seems to be a number's trending too high. Also, it was something that he felt was a dirty cancer, and it was not sponsored by many people financially because you did it to yourself, and that basically is not the case anymore. So we started the race. My sisters actually started. The family ran the race in 2007 to increase awareness about that, to honor Caine, and to raise money for cancer research at the, I'll say this once and I'll use the acronym, the Greenville Memorial at that time, now it's PRISMA, Institute of Translational Oncology Research, or ITOR, which is the PRISMA Oncology Unit. After many successful years, we partnered with PRISMA, and the family got off the hook because we were doing this 12 months out of the year just about. And in 2014, we changed the name of it to Run for Life, from Lungs for Life, to encompass all cancers. And having the hospital and their people involved was fantastic for the logistics on the race, because it's a big time state certified race. The focus now is on other families with cancer. And their personal journeys that they're going through. And you'll see from the names of the teams when you go on the website that it's generally got somebody's name or something to do with a family who's facing the same journey we did. And over the past 14 years, we've raised more than $2 million towards cancer research and education. And we encourage you, your family, your friends to join us on Saturday the 5th. You'll get an email after this, so don't worry about any of the details. On the 5th of November, it's always a beautiful fall morning at the Caine Halter YMCA on Cleveland Street. Since 2014, we now have 3 beneficiaries of Run for Life, and I thought it'd be interesting for y'all to know what the money is going to, what the effort's for. The PRISMA Cancer Institute is one of the leading cancer centers really in the country. I mean, you'd have to get into it to fully understand what they got going on over there. They started the ITOR Caine Halter Lung Fund as part of the PRISMA Health was created with Run for Life funding. And what that means is that when you go in, they will test your tumors, and rare tumors is really the thing they're worried about the most, because lots of diseases that people are chasing it, but the rare tumors are, maybe there's 4 or 5 a year. And so with the funding that we give them from this race, they have started a rare tumor center, and it is one of the finest in the country, where they take the tumors at no charge, they genome sequence them, and they put them up for testing at a later date to try different cancer therapies on different types of cancer, see if they can find a breakthrough. So it's very, very exciting. If I can get to my next page. Here we are. Cancer Society of Greenville County I've been on the board there for 10 years and past chair. They are roughly a third the hospital, a third the Cancer Society, and a third the YMCA. And very briefly, I talk about Cancer Society of Greenville County all the time, but we are a local organization providing local help for local people. We raise our money locally. We don't have any grants, any funding, no American Cancer Society. And what we do over on Mills Avenue is provide people with transportation to and from chemo. Because usually the people, cancer doesn't discriminate. You know, it takes people that have money, doesn't have money, educated, uneducated. So transportation is a big, big deal for a lot of people in Greenville County. We do a lot of nutritional supplements like Ensure and things that they need to stay on their game. We do counseling, and we offer hope. We offer wigs. We offer wheelchairs, crutches, you name it, we got it. So it's just a very, very deserving organization that has no funding. And then the YMCA is interesting. Just recently, if you read in the paper, there's a thing called Live Strong, which is obviously from Lance Armstrong. But the YMCA here locally has picked it up, and they are now providing, through a partnership with Live Strong, they're providing developing a small group cancer survivor program for living with and beyond cancer. So they're little small groups that get together, they work out, they talk about life. It's really an aftercare for what they've done in the hospital. And as I understand it, believe it or not, the White House contacted our YMCA last week and said that they want to use our program here in the way that we're putting it together as a national model. So you'll be hearing a lot more about that. But there's some exciting changes this year as we celebrate our 15th anniversary, which is an amazing accomplishment for any road race anywhere. They just don't last that long. It is a state certified course, as I said before. It's been altered this year to go through the Cancer Survivors Park, which is pretty cool. We're trying to mix it up a little and obviously meet the guidelines of the state. So we're certified. Because a lot of people come run this thing. They're looking for points. They're trying to do better on the statewide basis. We will also celebrate this year 3 individuals who have been instrumental to the success of Run for Life for over the years. They will be highlighted at 3 cheer stations. I'll be doing one of the stations, which is my brother. I'll talk about that in a second. But cheer stations along the course we're going to have set up with memorabilia about these individuals who have been so instrumental in the race over the years. And then, if I can get out of my own way, we're going to celebrate, as I said, these individuals, and there will be additional opportunity for tributes. This is what I mentioned to you on the website. When you go in, you scroll down, you'll see these 3 individuals. And if you want to make a donation in their name, you can. And one of them is very, very cool. First one is Larry Gluck. I don't know how many of y'all know Dr. Gluck, but he's come and spoken to us in the past. He was my brother's oncologist. He's he leads the oncology unit for Prisma for the state of South Carolina. He's going to retire next spring after a brilliant 36-year career. He's been a huge supporter and participant in the race since its inception. In his age group, which arguably is getting pretty old, he usually comes in first or second, but he's a hell of an athlete. He's been, as I said, a huge asset. He considers himself a doctor scientist, which is very important because if you're just a doctor, you're a doctor. And he's always thinking outside the box and trying to figure out how to get over to prevention. Detection's great and treatments are great, but prevention is where he's trying to work his magic over on that side of the equation. But he's had, after the 14 years of money that we have raised that's gone in there, you can't believe a $50,000 free money can do in an institution like the Greenville Hospital System / Prisma. It allows them to start doing some things and maybe get some matching funding from the National Institute of Cancer, NIC. And there's been some great results with very little money. And then last, we have the second, we have in memory of Susan Reed Bridgers. And as you know, she was an awesome member of the Caine family and a faithful volunteer since the inception of the race. Everyone knew and experienced the Susan spirit. And this is really the cool part. All tribute dollars for Susan that are given on the website will fund a new Prisma Health Cancer Institute ovarian cancer study by Dr. Larry Pools, who's the study principal investigator and also was Susan's doctor for the last 4 years of her life. So that's pretty cool. And then the third is obviously Caine, my younger brother. He's an avid athlete, huge community supporter, left us way too early at the age of 44 as a never smoker, and continues to be the driving force behind the longevity and the impact of Run for Life. So please come out and join us on Saturday, November 5th. It's going to be a great day. It won't mess up your football unless your team's really pitiful, because we're usually we're usually through by 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. There'll be a DJ and food, and we give out awards, and all that stuff happens after the race. But it really, all the schedules are on there. There's a quarter-mile child run, there's a 1 mile walk, and then there's a 5 mile run walk. And they give out awards in different age categories. Lucy Presley was supposed to be here with me today. She's under the weather. Lucy and Susan Reed Bridgers, were our volunteer coordinators, have been our volunteer coordinators, and Lucy's taking it on this year on herself. So when I send you the email, there'll be a link to the Run for Life page. There'll also be a link for a Sign Up Genius. We need 20 volunteers to just stand around the course and make sure that they don't run off down the river, that everybody's kind of going in the right direction. Cheer everybody on, and Susan and Lucy have done that so capably. Lucy's taking it on. She wish she could be here today, but she can't. So in closing, if you would just go to the website and look, Caine Company has always had a very good participation. I mean, some years we've had 50, 60, 65 people have come out, and families, with the kids and everything. And we've gotten a great group photo at 8:45, which we'll do again this year. And we have some good time, good fellowship. And it's good PR for the company to be out in front of everybody with our Blue Caine t-shirts on. And when you win the participants prize, it doesn't mean you raise the most money. Now, there are some people that are pretty hot on that. They want to be #1 fundraiser. I'd love to do that, but y'all would all have to give $1,000 a piece, and I don't think that's going to happen. So we got a pretty good start, though. We're a #3 team, but people really hadn't started going into the website, and it's roughly 2 weeks from Saturday. So this thing is now getting real. I get my credit card out every day and chip away at it just a little bit. But I wanted to leave with on my father Frank's grave. And I don't know how many of y'all ever even met Frank here. Of course, he lived 7 years longer than Caine or whatever. But up here at Christ Church, on his headstone is 2 Corinthians 9:7. And that is, God loves a cheerful giver. So keep that in mind. Thank you.
Thank you, Brad.
When I registered, it wouldn't come up Coldwell Banker team, so it was CB Caine.
Yes, it is CB Caine.
So just make sure, because that's misleading.
Yeah.
So for Spartanburg friends, when you go in, it says CB Caine, and not Coldwell Banker Caine when you go in there for our team.
Or type in CB Caine. If you have a problem, call marketing.
Or Lucy, or Brad. We'll find the answer for you. We'll find the answer. But all of us, I know, have been touched by cancer in our individual lives. And of course, as a Caine family, with the passing of Susan and Tammy Wilson. And so it's a great cause, and we love the support. So thank you. Now, what's on your mind? New